Now the purpose of this tutorial video is to teach you how to use a coding language. So first of all, what is a coding language? Well, a coding language is basically the language that's understood by a computer. They don't read things in the same way that we do. So they don't necessarily read things word for word as we would read word for word in English. So over the next few weeks, we're going to be learning how to create a quiz system within our chosen coding language. Now this lesson we're going to start using Python. So Python is the language that we're going to start using and start learning. We're going to specifically focus on Python 3, and you're going to learn how to print out strings in Python, and you're going to learn what a string is. You're also going to learn how to use variables and learn how to ask the user for an input, because with our quiz system we're going to need to know how to do that. So we're going to have some time this lesson as well to have a practice at that and see what you are able to do with this new coding knowledge. Now, as I said before, Python 3 is the language that we're going to choose, and it was kind of formed around the late 1980s. People ask why it was called Python, and just a little bit of information about it. Python was named after Monty Python's Flying Circus because the creator was a fan of that kind of show, so he decided on that name. There's not really a lot known about why that name was chosen, but that's led to be the main reason that was chosen. Let's go through. So we're going to have a look at what a variable is. We're also going to have a look at some different parts of Python. So if you look on here, I've got name equals John, for example. This is a variable, and this is a string, and then this is me telling Python basically to use that variable. So it's saying print out this information. Okay, so what we are going to do is you are going to use Trinket. So if you go to trinket.io, then it will bring up a page like this. You can go to Google and search Trinket. I've also provided a link to this page. Now I would recommend that you sign up. You should sign up using an email address from your school or an email address that is personal to you. Okay, it's best to use an email address from your school though, because it will allow you to reset your password if you forget it. So if I go to login, so this is the page that comes up when I've logged in, and then I want to go to new Trinket and then choose Python 3. Now when you open this up, you've just got this main part. This is where we're going to be writing our coding, and part of the reason that we want to use this Python is because we'll be able to save our documents and our files. So what we want to do is go to Python. So if we start using Python, and then you can start coding everything in here, and you're also able to save your documents. If you want to save an offline version of that, I will show you how to do that later on. So the very first thing is how to use variables and strings. So the very first thing we want is we want to call a function. Now a function is normally purple, so they appear up here as purple, and that will say it basically you're telling Python what to do. So we're going to do hello world. Now in this you can see that what we would call a string actually appears in red. So what I'm telling it to do is to print out this information. So if I do run, you can see that over on the right side it's actually printed out what I typed here, and it will type it word for word exactly as you type it. So you can see there. So if there's any spelling mistakes in there, it will show the spelling mistakes as well. Now let's set that instead to be a variable. Now adding a variable is very simple. You just put a name of something and then equals and tell it what it's equal to. So I'm going to say hello world. Okay, so I've got hello world and hello world 2. It should appear like so. Now if I just ran that, this, I haven't asked it to print this variable, I've asked it to print this word here. So it will only appear once. Okay, but if you do print, and I changed it and I put name here, It's important that if you have a capital N, there's a capital N here as well. Choose Run, and then you can see it's printed it twice. So that's how you get Python to input using this information, so you can get it to print out this information for you.